You guys, I am hot right now. I know most of the time I sound even keeled. I break things down, I analyze, I give people the benefit of the doubt. But Hillary Baldwin just made a statement about how I am supposed to feel. And let me be clear, she missed the target completely. This isn't just about a viral moment anymore. This is about being dismissed, talked over, and told that what I saw and what you saw wasn't real. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what really happened on that red carpet, why her response is not just a deflection and is a form of manipulation. But before we get into it, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe.
It's going to be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Oh, sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
Let's start with that moment itself. So I saw that clip 4 days after the event happened. I noticed that nobody had talked about it or anything. So I made the clip. I posted it on X and a couple of other social media accounts that I have. I went to sleep. I woke up and that clip had gone viral. Nobody had talked about it, and it needs to be talked about. So in summary, Alec says it's going to be great. So he's being optimistic. He's being nice. Hillary immediately cuts him off and says, when I'm talking, you're not talking. She doesn't say it once, she says it twice. And after that, Alec apologizes. That's not a joke. That's not playful banter. That's a power move. And no, I am not defending Alec Baldwin. This isn't about who he is or what he's done. This is about the fact that talking to your partner like this in public on camera is wrong. In private, it's wrong. And if the genders were reversed, if Alec had been the one to say this to Hilaria, when I'm talking, you're not talking, there would be public outrage. There needs to be public outrage. And I've been posting about Hillary lately a lot because this isn't just a one-time thing. She's consistently this way with him. I have a lot of clips on my phone that I haven't posted yet. And it's about time that we start talking about it. She's confessed to hiding a dog in a bathroom for 11 days and only taking it out when everybody else is sleeping or no one's home.
And I didn't tell Alec, and so I kept her secret in my bathroom for 11 days.
That's wrong. She said in the very first episode of The Baldwins, and mind you, I've only made it like a couple of moments into the first episode, that they had to get his favorite rug replaced. And she admits that she went out and bought that rug when he wasn't home, so he couldn't control what rug was purchased. I'm going to put that clip here now. I'm going to mute it and leave the caption so you can read it, because I don't know if it'll get flagged, but in either case, this is fair use. I'm providing commentary about this behavior. So we're here right now because a new interview was just posted on the Extra account. Hillary is promoting her book. That's the purpose of the interview. Look at the cover. I don't know when this cover was decided, but this isn't just some lighthearted family photo, in my opinion. This is a message. In the image, her husband is taped up, sitting in a cardboard box. He's being packaged and silenced, literally. One of the children is holding the roll of tape, but let's be real. We saw who holds the tape. It's Hillary. We saw it in that red carpet moment. And actually, that interview was 4 to 5 minutes long. She's like that the entire time. So to me, this cover isn't funny. It's not relatable. And it's branding a power imbalance as family charm. And the fact that he's literally taped shut while she promotes the book is honestly kind of chilling. This interview, this cover, this is a clapback disguised as PR. This isn't just her setting the record straight, it's her attempting to reclaim the narrative after the dynamic was exposed. She's trying to soften the blow to turn what looked like dominance into dismissal, into something whimsical and harmless. That's the thing with these kinds of PR spins. They don't just deny what happened, they subtly mock the people who noticed. By saying, "We thought it was funny," she's not just brushing it off, she's signaling that we are the ones that made too much out of it. That if you saw disrespect, you must be overly sensitive or looking for drama. And she says that actually, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And that's what makes this so frustrating and honestly so familiar, because this is where narcissistic traits come into play. It's not just about controlling a partner in private, it's about controlling the narrative even after the fact. When someone with these types of traits gets caught out, they don't apologize. They reframe, they perform, they make you question what you saw, or worse, make you feel embarrassed for seeing it at all. And in this case, she didn't just rewrite the moment. She wrapped it in duct tape and slapped it on the cover of her book. Let's continue. I'm going to show you the part of the clip that it's just made me very angry. I'm going to mute the clip but put the captions so you can see exactly what she says, and then let's talk about it. Here's that clip. She says, "He told me the internet is mad at you right now." And I was like, what did I do now? This sounds casual, flippant, but this is classic narcissistic deflection. She's basically saying, I'm tired of being misunderstood. She's not someone who's reflecting on how they just dismissed their husband in public. This phrase is a power move disguised as confusion. She's not actually asking, what did I do now? She's positioning herself as the victim of unfair judgment while completely skipping over the actual behavior that sparked it. It's a tactic. It's like saying, why are you mad at me? Instead of, what did I do to get to this situation? And then she says, and by the way, everybody who made a big deal about it also knows that. You know, and I know that you're making a big deal out of nothing. First, let's focus on you know and I know. Excuse me? You don't know me. You don't know how I feel. You don't get to tell me what I saw, what made me pause, what made millions of people pause and say it was nothing. That line is more than condescending. It's infuriating. It's a classic narcissistic move. Talk over people, reframe the backlash, and then pretend like everyone secretly agrees with you, even if they don't. That's not clearing up a misunderstanding. That's controlling the narrative, and it's gaslighting the audience. And the fact she did it so casually while promoting a book with that on the cover, that's not just weird. It's revealing. And if you've ever experienced someone like this, here's what it might have looked like in your own life. You walk away from an argument to cool off and they say, you know I'm right, you just don't want to admit it. Or you express discomfort with how something played out and they respond, you know you're not actually upset, you just like drama. Or you try to set a boundary and they shoot back, you know you're only saying that to punish me. You could bring up something that hurt and they dismiss it with, you know this isn't really about me, you're just projecting. Or maybe they respond with a smirk, you know what this is really about. Like you're not even allowed to name your own experience. This is what narcissistic language does. It strips away your reality, replaces it with theirs, and acts like you secretly agree with their version of events. And when someone does it confidently, casually, just like Hillary just did, it's not just annoying. It's an echo of something a lot of people have fought hard to heal from. And now let's talk about the second part of that portion of what she said. She said, you're making a big deal out of nothing. She's minimizing my emotions. That's emotional minimization. And it's one of the most common ways people with narcissistic traits shut down accountability. It sends a message: your reaction is the problem, not my behavior. And that's the real trick, because it's not about the event anymore. It's about your emotions being too much. Narcissistic people do this all the time. When something they said or did causes discomfort, they don't get curious, they get defensive. And instead of owning the impact, they make you feel embarrassed for even noticing. It's subtle, it's smug, and it's designed to leave you questioning yourself. If you've ever had someone respond to your hurt or discomfort with this kind of shutdown, these are some ways it could have sounded. Scenario 1, you finally open up about something that's been bothering you, and they roll their eyes and say, "You're still upset about that?" Scenario 2, you ask someone not to joke about something personal, and they snap back, "Relax, it's not that deep." Scenario 3, you say you didn't like how something was handled, and they throw out, "Wow, you're really making a thing about this, huh?" Scenario 4, you bring up something that crossed a line, and they dismiss it with, "It was a joke, you need to lighten up." And the last scenario, you try to explain how something made you feel, and they shrug and say, "This again? I thought we were over it." In each of these moments, you're not just being disagreed with, you're being told that your feelings are excessive, your reaction is a problem, and your perspective doesn't matter. This is how emotional silencing works. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet phrase like, "It's not that serious," but it leaves a scar all the same. And then she ends with this. She says, "I didn't really read them. It didn't make me upset, to be quite honest." First of all, this is straight out of Megan's playbook. I don't read what they say about me. Okay. And let me just say, the video clips that were made, there was no intent to make Hillary upset. The video wasn't posted to hurt her. It was posted because people saw something real, something concerning, something familiar. And instead of sitting with that, she pulls the final move. "I didn't read it. I wasn't upset. I'm above it." That is not strength. That's deflection dressed up as indifference. Because the truth is, it struck a nerve. Maybe not the video itself, but the fact that so many people saw it for what it was. That's the part that matters. The moment wasn't about causing her pain. It was about naming the pattern, a pattern a lot of us know all too well: being cut off, being spoken over, and then being told your reaction is the real problem. That's not accountability, that's image management. And no amount of duct tape on a book can cover that up. And maybe you felt this too. Let's say you try to have an honest conversation with someone, and later they say, "I didn't even hear what you said, to be honest, I tuned it out." Or you express how something affected you, and they respond, "Oh, that? I wasn't even upset. I didn't take it seriously." And finally, maybe you bring up something hurtful and they act bored, like it's beneath them to even react. That's not peace. That's not maturity. That's emotional dismissal. And it hurts because you know they hurt you. You know it landed, but they'd rather pretend they didn't care at all rather than actually acknowledge your humanity. That's not just cold. That's how people with narcissistic traits erase impact without ever taking responsibility. So I just want to be clear, this was never about picking apart a single moment on a red carpet. It was about what that moment revealed: the control, the dismissal, the lack of respect. And now revising the narrative, telling an interviewer that we all overreacted, even though we all saw it happen. If you've ever been on the receiving end of this kind of dynamic, you know how it feels to be talked over, to be told what you think, to have your feelings called nothing, or to even be told what your feelings are. And when you are expressing yourself genuinely, they make you feel ridiculous for even caring. That's what this is about, not celebrity gossip, but the subtle public shape that emotional control can take. And if your gut told you something was off in that moment, trust it. Sometimes it only takes one sentence to see the whole pattern, and sometimes the mask doesn't slip, it poses right there on the cover. I'm really curious to hear what you all think about this. I was actually so surprised to see that and to see her reaction. Like, honestly, I'm shocked. And you can tell I'm heated. This made me very mad. So yeah, if you feel comfortable, please go ahead and leave your comments. Let me know if you've ever experienced something like this. Let me know, what do you think? And I'm sending big hugs to any of you out there that have experienced this because it is hurtful. It makes you feel invisible. If this video was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.